Welcome students on today's lecture on counterfort retaining wall. In the previous class, we have discussed about how the design of toe slab is done. So today we shall design the heel slab and the last part. So I would like to just go through the numerical once again. So this is the data given where height of the wall above ground level is 6 meter. SBC of soil is 160 kN per meter square. Angle of internal friction phi is equal to 30 degrees. Density of soil 16 kilonewton per meter cube. Spacing of counterforts 3 meter center to center. Okay, and they have asked us to draw the sectional elevation midway between the counterforts, section elevation through the counterforts, and plan at the base of counterfort. So initially we started with the dimensioning of retaining wall. So we calculated the minimum depth by using this formula P divided by W, 1 minus sin phi divided by 1 plus sin phi the whole square. Substituting, we came to a round off value of 1.2 meter. Then overall height of the wall 6 plus 1.2 meter, where 6 is nothing but height of the wall above the ground level. So foundation plus this, it is working out to be 7.2 meter. Then the thickness of base slab is given by 2L into H, where substituting the L, that is spacing of counterfort, and height, total height 7.2 will give us in terms of centimeter. So we rounded off it to 450 mm thickness of the base slab. Then providing 1.2 meter depth foundation and thickness of base slab as 450 mm, we also compute the base width. So how much should be the width? So depending upon, I took it at the shorter side, that is 0.6 H. We know that the range is between 0.6 H to 0.7 H. So the base width 0.6 H is working out to be 4.5 meter. Then toe projection, we took it as 1/4 of the base width. So 1/4 of 4.5 working to be around 1 meter. So you can see in the diagram here, the dimensions are set. So the stem is 200 mm width and it is not tapering, it is straight. The height of stem above the ground level here is 6 meter. The depth of the foundation is 1.2 meter. So the total height is working out to be 6 meter plus 1.2 meter, that is capital H is equal to 7.2 meter. We also computed that the depth of the base slab is working out to be 0.45 meter. So obviously H minus 0.45 is giving out to be small h 6.75 meter. So this is our stem, wherein its self weight W1 is acting downwards towards the CG of the ground. This is W2, the base slab of concrete, which will again self weight is acting downwards towards the base, towards the CG of the earth. Here we have a soil, so it is W3. Here is the pressure acting at a distance of 1/3 of this. So P is equal to K into omega H square by 2. And this portion is nothing but the counterfort. So this is how we dimensioned the given the dimensions for the counterfort retaining wall. Then we computed the pressure intensity here. So Ka W H square divided by 2. So initially we wanted the pressure, so it worked out to be 36 kilonewton per meter square. We computed the moment. So considering it as a uniformly distributed load, so WL square by 8, where L is nothing but the spacing of the counterfort, so it is working out to be 40.5 kilonewton meter. The required depth we computed, we got it as 175 mm, so we assumed 200 to be at the top and we kept it constant thickness. Whereas when we designed the cantilever retaining wall, we kept it as the tapering section. So we provided using the moment, we computed the AST and we provided 12 mm diameter bars at 150 mm center to center and the distribution bars at 6 mm diameter at 200 mm center to center. Then we did the stability calculation. As we know that W1 is nothing but the stem dimension, so stem dimension multiplied by the density of concrete, we got this force. And taking the distance from the point A, so in the diagram you can see that the point A is lying here. So this is a point A, this is a point A. So here we compute the loads, force and the distance from A and we get the moment. So W2 is nothing but the weight of the base slab. So this is the force working out and this is the distance. Multiplying with it, I got the moment. Then W3 is nothing but the soil, which has been shown in the diagram. You can see over here, which is acting downwards, but here I will consider it as a rectangular portion. So 3.3 into 6.75 into density of soil, and the CG distance is this. So movement is working out to be so much. And even the earth pressure is acting, so kWh cube by 6. So this is working out to be so much. So this is the total force and this is the total movement. So distance of point of application of a resultant from the point A, that is the resultant is to be located from this point A. So we come across this. So summation of movement divided by summation of force. From the above table we have their summation of movement and summation of force. We computed, we got it as 2.597 meter. Eccentricity is nothing but z minus b by 2. So z is this, so it is working out to be 0.347. But let's see the limitation. So b by 6 width, so 4.5 divided by 6 is nothing but 0.75. So this is less than 0.75, hence eccentricity is minimum. Then we computed the minimum and maximum pressure at the base. So we computed minimum and maximum pressure, and this is how it is located here. So at point A it is 52.228 kilonewton per meter square, and at D it is 142.17 kilonewton per meter square. This section is nothing but where the stem is located and joining here, you can see. So this 0.2 meter, so this is also the same 0.2 meter. So I have divided into A, B, C and D. Initially we already designed the toe slab, so by interpolating we will work out these values and convert this into a geometry. Like for example, here I have converted this into a rectangle, this has a triangle, this has a rectangle, this has a triangle, this also has a rectangle and a triangle portion here. So we did the design of toe slab. Toe slab, you can see initial we have decided the dimension 1 meter by 0.45 meter. So we will design the toe slab. So the maximum bending moment acting on a toe slab is calculated by considering movements of all the forces about the point C. So you can see, now I will take you to the pressure distribution diagram. So about the C means at this point. So if you see in the diagram here, about the point C is working out to be at this point, okay. So again, from the computation, from the uh, diagram, pressure distribution diagram, considering a pressure distribution diagram here, I have a pressure distribution diagram here. Now for toe slab I will consider the section C, D, E and F. So I have divided into two components here. One is a rectangle and one is a triangle. So it is C, D, I, F, and one triangle is F, I, E. So you can see here, so upward pressure C, D, I, F. So that is C, D, I and F. So this dimension is nothing but 1 meter by 122.19. So you got this. So this is force, and the CG distance is to be taken from here to here up to C. So it is 0.5. So it is 0.5. So this is the moment working out. Similarly, there is a triangle I, E, F. So triangular portion. So upward pressure E, I, F. This is a triangular portion. So half base into height. This is the magnitude, and its CG will act from this point towards this. So which is nothing but the 2/3 of 1. So this is the moment working out. Then we have the self weight of the toe slab. So this is a deduction. So it is a rectangular section 1 meter by 0.45 and the density of concrete 24. So this is the magnitude and it is CG is working out to be half of 1, so 0.4. This is there. And even you can see in the diagram, if I take you to the diagram, here even the soil is present at some height. So 1.2 meter height, this soil is present. So I will consider this rectangular portion. So it will be 1 meter width and height will be this 1.2 minus 0.45. So the same thing has been done here. So weight of soil about the toe slab. So 1.2 minus 0.45 as shown in the diagram into 1 into density of soil. So this is there. So this is the total movement occurring here. So movement 56.855 kN and ultimate movement multiplied by factor of safety. So depth of the toe slab working out to be 400 mm and MA is equal to 0.87 FISTD. So area we have provided 590.54. So providing 12 mm diameter bars 150 mm center to center and distribution bars 10 mm diameter bars at 280 mm center to center. Now in the previous classes we have done till here. Today we shall design the heel slab. Now let us see the heel slab portion. So I will go to the diagram, a cross section. So heel slab is this portion from here till here. So the dimension of heel slab is a rectangular portion and its dimension is 3.3 meter by 0.45 meter. So let us see. Consider 1 meter wide strip of heel slab near heel at end A. Upward soil pressure, so this has been already computed. Upward soil pressure 45 kN per meter square. Weight of the soil on the strip, so already we know that. So this is 16 density into 6.75. Then weight of self weight of strip 1 into 0.45. So this is working out. This is a total addition. So deduction. Deduct for downward pressure minus 0.45, 45 kN per meter square, and net downward pressure. This has been computed earlier in spacing of counterfort. So the movement is given by the whatever the force computed. So maximum negative bending moment at counterforts is M is equal to W L square by 12. So this is working out to be so much. Wherein this is spacing of the counterfort. So multiplying the moment, MA is equal to this, MA into 55.35 kilonewton meter. It is working out to be 83 kilonewton meter. As you can see, a counterfort is present over the heel slab. So this there is a change as compared to the previous design steps. So the reinforcement in the heel slab is computed by substituting, and we got the area of steel as 600 mm square, providing 10 mm diameter bars at 280 mm center to center. Now the major part here is lies the change in the design component, because in the previous design, that is cantilever retaining wall, we didn't had any counterforts. Now we have a counterforts. These are nothing but this portion is nothing but a counterfort. So design a counterfort. So let us see. Thickness provided at top is nothing but 220 plus 220, so 440 mm. So just I will show it to you. You can see here. So here 200 mm is there. So considering that this is 220 mm and this is 220 mm, so adding both, I have increased it by 20 mm here. So 220 plus 220 it is 440. Here it is shown as 400. You can just make the changes here. 440 thickness of counterfort, 440 mm. Okay. Then maximum moment in the counterfort, this is given by formula M is equal to Ka into omega h cube divided by 6 into L. So Ka we have already computed, that is active earth pressure, which is 1/3, into 16 is nothing but density of soil. H you can see from the diagram is 6.75 square divided by 6 into L is nothing but the counterfort center to center distance 3 meter. So this is working out to be 820.12 kilonewton meter. So maximum ultimate bending moment is nothing but 1.5 into 820.12. So this is working out to be 1230 kilonewton per meter. Kilonewton meter. You can see the moment is high. So the reinforcement at bottom of counterfort is to be provided. So making the use of this, that is mu is equal to 0.87 FIAST D into 1 minus FIAST divided by B into D into FCK. So substituting, we got the area of steel as 800 mm square. So the area of steel 0.85 BD divided by Fy, 0.85 into 440 into 4400 divided by 415, 3965 mm square. So providing 5 bars of 32 mm diameter. Now let us see the next part, that is curtailment of bars. So let h1 is equal to depth at which one bar can be curtailed. Then it is 5 minus 1 divided by 5 is equal to h1 divided by 6.75 square. So h1 working out to be 6 meters from top, and h2 depth at which two bars can be curtailed, 5 minus 2 divided by 5, which is h2 divided by 6.75 square. h2 is equal to 5.2 meter from the top. Let h3 depth at which 3 bars can be curtailed, 5 minus 3 divided by 5, so h3 divided by 6.75 square. h3 is working out to be 4.2 meter from top. So h1 is working 6 meter from top, h2 5.2 meter from top, and h3 5.2 meter, 4.2 meter from top. Now let us see the connection between the counterfort and upright slab. As you can see, this is the counterfort and there should be a connection between the upright slab. So consider the bottom 1 meter height as upright slab. Pressure on this strip is 36.36 kN per meter square. Total pressure transferred to the counterfort at 1 meter height is 36 minus 3 minus 0.044, so 91.8 kilonewton. So vectored force 1.5 into 91.8, so which is working out to be 137.7 kilonewton. Steel required per meter height, so this 137.7 into 10 raised to 3 kilonewton converted into Newton divided by 0.87 Fy. So 0.87 into 415, which is 381 mm square. Now the next connection is connection between counterfort and heel slab. That is how we will connect this counterfort to the heel slab. So initially now we have designed the counterfort and the upright slab, that is this, and counterfort and the heel slab we have to design with this. Let us see connection between counterfort and the heel slab. Tension transferred in 1 meter width of counterfort near the heel end. This is working out to be 189 kilonewton, and factorizing we get 283.5 kilonewton. So steel required per meter width, so 283.5 into 10 raised to 3 kilonewton converted to Newton divided by 0.87 Fy, so 415, so 785 mm square. So spacing of 10 mm diameter bars in the form of two-legged vertical stirrups, which is working out to be 785 mm square, providing 10 mm diameter bars at two-legged vertical stirrups at 200 mm center center. So this is how the section looks at midway between the supports, okay, and as well as the midway and the sectional elevation at the counterfort. So this diagrams detailing we'll see in the next class. So we have designed the connections, that is what all has been done is we have designed the stem, we have designed the toe slab, we have designed the heel slab, we have done the stability calculation, we have designed the counterfort, okay. So all these things has been designed and provided with the reinforcement. So in the next class we shall see how the detailing is to be done. So this is for today. So thank you.